Hello, it's me, King of Stuff. Now, you might be wondering why you are here in my kingdom on such a day. You might be thinking this couch looks a little similar to the one at XUW. That's only because XUW likes to steal my throne. Now, we're here to discuss who I am. And who I am as a king. A king that was the child of another king, who was a child of yet another king. But you might be wondering everything about what I am the king of, what I do, every reason that makes me who I am. Well, I don't deserve to tell you, but I'm being paid to, so of course I'm gonna oblige. Now, my grandfather was a king of a large army, an army of 443 men. And of course, him and his wife would conquer and slay everything that came forth. And eventually, after being king of a kingdom he started, 10 years later, he had my father. And then my father, when he was the ripe age of 47 in the year of 1983, he had me. And then my mom owned the lands, but then my mom was slain. But then I took the keys to the kingdom at the age of 11, and my father felt like he was too old to still be king. But then we look at King Arthur in England, and we're like, wow, maybe I'm reminiscing on old times. I mean, look at Queen Elizabeth. She's in her 90s. But I wanted my kingdom to be modernized, unlike the kingdom that my dad and grandfather had not too long ago. But that is okay. That is okay. You see, my kingdom, we don't have knights, we don't have anything. We got royal guards, we got a castle, which looks more like a church, and I sit on a throne above everybody in there, and I make sure that no one thinks of themselves more highly than the king. Now, I might be wondering, what is the King of Stuff's love status? Well, you better believe I already have 5 of the finest girls lined up for the King of Stuff, and you better believe that I am going through a whole entire tournament to see who is fit for the king. But you know, these fine 5 women have a contest for the love of the King of Stuff. But the King of Stuff loves himself more than any other mere person could. And I've been thinking to myself, I never want to not rule the kingdom. I always want to be the kingdom. My father gave it all up for his 11-year-old son, and his 11-year-old son in the year of 1994 started his journey. And you know, look where I am now. Look where I am now. I am taking over everything. I've been the king, and I've been doing good. My father just died a whole 9 months ago. But not to fear, I'm still doing pretty well. Now, the kingdom in itself. Well, let me be honest. Ever since I've taken charge, I have made very, very big changes so I can be more of a modernized king, so I don't stand out like a sore thumb, so I can walk the streets like a normal and free man, instead of being hounded by all the press, by all the media, of all what people think the king of stuff should be. Well, my father was the king of stuff, and my father enjoyed it. He enjoyed walking on the streets in the 90s. Everybody being like, hey, you used to be the king. Now, now the king of stuff is just a kid. He'll never do anything good to be the king. Well, no, I did good to be the king. I was the king. I was a better king than any of them. My grandfather was the king from age 17 to age 59, okay? He was the king for a long, 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 long time. And then my father, my father was only king for a good 26 years. And then you look at me and how long I have been king. My father was a pathetic man. Thought that he could be king, but he couldn't. And he might have held the keys to the kingdom, but in hell, he did not have what I did, the king power, the power to be the king. And I will enrich in this land. I will build up my castle. I will double my fortune of 2.4 million. Okay? And that all begins with one thing. One little thing. I had something in my collection room, that I've been chasing after for ages. And that is the XUW Championship. And I could add that to my kingdom, or I could not add it to my kingdom. It's really whatever I want to do. But there's a lot more to my life than just being a wrestler on XUW. No. I am a king, and I do rule over a small portion of land and all its stuff. My land, well, I'm in charge of a good 90 acres of land, which has a good 50 homes on it. So I'm in charge of a solid 50 homes, and I'm in charge of my little church castle, 3-floor church thing. Because I'm the king, you better bend the knee and bow.